Hi, this is Mia, and it is 10:45 Saturday morning, and I usually have a lot of stuff to do every single day, every single morning. Someone on Facebook had, oh wait, I wrote class in here. Saturday, I'm like, oh crap. I wrote the wrong thing in here. Oh wait, no, okay. I had to be somewhere an hour earlier than I thought. I had to be somewhere. Shoot. Alright, we usually have to be somewhere early in the morning, and it's various reasons, not just like very regular set schedule. It's like added events, things that I do on days that I'm off, and things that I'm, excuse me, sorry, that was rude. I just drank a jar of raspberry leaf with honey tea that I made last night before bed. I was freezing cold. I had to go to bed. A lot of times, by the time I get my tea prepared, it's not warm anymore, but I was like, that's all I could think about was just getting this item so that I can, it was just like unbearable cold. It just feels like so cold. Every calorie that I'm eating for food is being stored as body fat, like blubber, just to keep myself from like dying from what do the people get when they don't get frostbite or just get from they have exposure, but the weather is only like 40-50 degrees, and so they get the regular hypothermia without like frostbite or other conditions. Like a lot of people here, they do hiking and going out into the mountains, and they'll like die of exposure because of the whole, sorry, like that. I had another video, I was wearing the same sweater, I think it was within the last 6 hours. Sorry, felt kind of bad that I'm having issues with clothing choices, and what happens when you get a used sweater? It holes when you get it through. The other person saw when it was new, but to me it was new, and then it's old really fast. And I probably shouldn't wash it because now it goes like above my belly button. It's like, okay, that's. I know it's weird is when you shrink your wool, it's like it's still wide, but it's short. I was like, what the heck happened? I shouldn't shrink my wool. They should make everything pre-shrunk. Something like I saw some socks. Wash and dry. You can wash them and dry them in the dryer, and I was like, really? I did that with my kids' socks before, and it's just like one got shrunk. One didn't get shrunk, and one got shrunk, and it was just like, actually, it was like my sock, like, oh, I gave it to my son when he was little, and then, like, nobody could wear it now, like, I gave a sock to my animal the other day. I should have, one of the socks was gonna cut open, like a blankie, but I had to heal, I'd have to hem the edges. I was thinking sock heel. I'm making this video right now. I had a point, and now I don't. I'm doing my self-help with myself. Not having money for food. Yesterday I had some money that I had to pay for class, and I felt God saying, just pay this amount. Like, no, I still need several hundred more dollars, and I had to do an online transaction, pretty much spending every penny I had. I had enough to do like hundreds of extra, and I didn't. I felt like I was like, don't do it. This morning, wake my $300 check just got cleared, and I was like, oh shoot, I gotta budget balance my checking account. I was like, if I had listened to my own self and done the extra money, I would have bounced my account. I might not have, because these other transactions didn't. I don't think it went through yet. I'm not sure how. I've never paid online through my school this way because I've always had financial aid. So I was like, oh, left. Oh, I'm more broke than I thought, but it's like now there's no money at all. I was like, I need oil change, and I'm supposed to spend $77 to get my teeth cleaned. I was like, no. I was like, well, I'll do the oil change because there's warranty on the car. I was like, uh-oh. And, oh, what do I want to buy? Stuff to make fresh juice. Okay, what do I want to buy? Some nuts. So that when I'm feeling nervous or cold or stomach's growling, protein, that I could grab like 5 or 10 nuts and be like, oh, I feel fine. Like, even at work. You grab some nuts, I don't get lunch break. The other people get lunch break. They can sit down and eat a salad or a meal or some chicken and rice or whatever, and or some pastries or whatever. You know, like people have these European pastries, like they have like meats and stuff, little pies or whatever, and a lot of people they eat that. They have no problems with weight and food allergies with that. And for me, it's like like freaking out. So I'm like right now, I'm just like I'm in the position right now. I'm just wanting to kind of not have to deal with severe weight gains. It's like I have a list of foods that I could eat, and I know that I can eat these foods, and a lot of them have, like, even today I was eating some hazelnuts and filberts. I like calling it filbert, and I had immediate sinus congestion. And one of my raw food chocolates, I think it was the maca one. I don't think it was the one. There was one that had, I accidentally bought 2,000 lifetime supply seeds. And when I at Golden Flax Seeds, I usually get the dark ones in the bulk here, or from Bob's Red Mill, because I have to try to support Bob's Red Mill. There's very few things I could really eat there, and I ended up realizing they were crushed, pre-crushed, and I was like, I tasted them, they kind of tasted already a little bit rancid. I never eat the pre-crushed ones, and I was really mad at myself for not looking at the fine print. And I was just like, oh, these are so cheap, and I was like, what? I was like, oh gosh, what if they're the ones from the bottom of the bin that got all crushed up? You know, I'm like, you feel like a 1-ton container with flax seeds and one on top is still whole. The ones on the bottom are crushed to bits because of the weight. I was like, So I tried to make some of my raw chocolates, put a little bit in there, sprinkle some on top, so I know the difference between the two. But I really like when raw chocolates with dark brown flax seeds. You end up, it tastes almost, the consistency almost tastes like, what do you say, the Hershey, with the corn, rice and that corn. The Rice Krispies inside, crispy, crackle. Is it? I'm so confused right now, sorry. What is that other one that used to come in the blue wrapper? Crunch. Yeah, it almost tastes like that. And then you're like, I guess Crunch is not Nestle. A Hershey. Oh my gosh, so sorry. I'm not good with brand names anymore because I try to make things from scratch. It's really time consuming, but it almost has a consistency of crisp rice and chocolate. Let's just put it like that. And what's hard sometimes you make that, you give it to somebody, you take a bite, you can't see the flax seeds because they're dark, and you see something weird in there, and you're like, oh, what is that? Like, that's something crunchy, and it's not supposed to be in there. So like, I thought it would be cool, kind of, to have the yellow flax seeds and the golden colored ones. But I figured, you know, maybe the one thing I didn't like, I don't like to have mine crushed. I know I did say about for years to finally buy a flaxseed grinder. Everyone suggested, and I just chew it with my mouth. Okay, and everyone's like, that's not good enough. And the doctor told us to chew 31 times. Yeah, but they're like, wow, chew. Like, chewing, I'm still chewing. And I feel like you can still extract the nutrients. And it's interesting, you have a seed that's whole, and you bite it a couple times, crack the edges, it goes through digestion, stomach acid, all that stuff, the enzymes. And it's like, yeah, certain things they say, oh, it can come out whole in the toilet, whatever. And you see that, and you're just like, you're just like, does it still extract any nutrients, you know? But the thing is, if you were to chew 31 times and spit out like a whole mouthful of flax seeds, a lot of people, if they mix it with rice or whatever, they're chewing the rice, which is soft, and they might not even, because the rice is bigger than the flax, they might even chomp down. Their teeth might not even contact the flax seeds, you know, and they're slippery. You bite down on rice, it's teeth, the flax seed could be like, well, you're not you bit off a piece of steak and choke on it, or a piece of cauliflower without chewing it. because one person, they were like, oh, you eat flax seeds. My doctor told me that is an absolute waste of time. Never, ever, ever eat flax seeds. Like, just, whole flax seeds. But the thing is, I like to have a food, if you were to soak it and sprout it, it actually ends up being another plant. And it's like, no matter how long it sits in my cupboard, I'm not saying indefinitely. It's like some of these that are also sprouted kit from a relative's cupboard from a long time ago. It's still in my cabinet, but it's like no. It reminds me. I gave somebody a sprout kit for their birthday, for their kid's birthday, and I need that sprout kit. I want it back. I'm like, it was like a perfect sprout kit, and I was trying to. Like, I'm missing my sprout kits, and then the ones that you put on the mason jars. One time they got so stuck I had to throw the whole thing away. I was like thinking of going to the backyard and taking maybe I was like thinking throwing it on the cement and cracking the glass of the moldy sprouts in it because I could not get the lid off or anything like hot water, cold water tapping out of it. I don't have a wrench that big, I was like, I just break the glass and I probably put it in a garbage bag. Break the glass and then pick out of course the top of the jar probably wouldn't come off of it. I have to hit it with a hammer. But, I was like, oh, these things are expensive. Well, at least $3 a piece, or if not, like, a set, the regular kits were like $20 a piece, so that's why I wish I didn't give away the other one, because the ones I was using, there's ones I was using on a regular basis, disappeared to my house, or people have to do everything away. It looks like junk. Like, this is just some stupid plastic thing, but it's like this plastic thing I've used for years and years and years to do beans, or not. I didn't do a lot of bean sprouts. I did the alfalfa sprouts, and so I'm kind of kicking myself sometimes when that stuff disappears because I'm like, oh, I'll just clean out the whole kitchen. Maybe I'll find it, shoved in the back of the cupboard somewhere. But I am. It's like it's kind of a cheap way you can get some seeds in bulk and be able to produce your own fresh produce as long as you clean it and process it well, so it doesn't get the toxic type mold and other things people get sick. They tell pregnant ladies not to take this. I didn't really anything from the house, and I did see the sprouts in the store looking all like mushy and smushy and gooey, and I got a little bit nervous about buying that. Occasionally I'd buy that. I haven't even really bought the sprouts. You can buy the ones that are already growing, and like with the wheatgrass, you can buy the sprouts. And I think I bought the broccoli sprout. No, it was maybe broccoli sprouts. It was a sprout I bought. No, I think I did cut off putting this down. I don't remember. I just could have been a dream. It's like it was always a say about this store. I'm not sure if I actually. Seems like I did one time buy it because I was like, sometimes I feel the desire. I feel malnourished. There's something in that plant that I need right now. That has happened to me mostly in the New Season store. It's like this variety of things. A lot of things that I don't eat and I can't eat, and then the things that I like from their store are very high priced. Their stores are very expensive. What I strongly dislike is when the stores, I'm just saying in general now, because I can find pros and cons of every store. Most of the cons are the price. But what I strongly dislike is when the entire store is advertising like health food store, the blanket of health food store, like the umbrella, and fresh organic. Oh, sorry, I should turn that sound machine. Hold on. I could turn. I use like a. Being kind of lazy, sorry. Can't tell if I turned it off or not. Turn it off with I gotta get rid of this cycle. I should probably have kept that. I could use that. It's like, oh, I have a chair that's missing the cushions off the edges and they're metal, and I just lean over, like, oh, I had that problem with chronic bruising, and I realized that I think I was leaning over the parking brake in my car to get stuff out of the glove box and stuff, and I was having like this serious, like, oh no, I think I'm having some kind of, digestive problem or infection. And I'm like, oh wait, this is like a bruise. Like, oh, every time I lean over that, it hurts. That's what caused it. I hate this cloud and blanket. Oh, health food store and organic, fresh, local. sustainable. And then it's like, I understand they say it's sustainable for fish products, tilapia, and different products. I used to, once in a while when I was a kid, get trout, farm-raised trout, between the fishing pond, and that was like the only time I caught fish. I don't think I caught the fish, but Grandma caught the fish. I didn't really catch any in the lake. And then as a kid, it was like so different, and so like there was a million bones. Mom had to sit and pick out all the bones versus the fillets you get at the store, and it was like fresh, and you see the scales, and it was just like, I mean, I think it's a good experience for kids to see where the food comes from instead of just having like a salmon steak. That's my opinion, because I remember it so well from then. And I had my kids do that recently, and they end up with a big fish, and my daughter did, and she was horrified. She hates it. Felt bad. They tried to put the fish back in the water because it was old and it was too big, and it wouldn't go back in the water, and she had to end up taking a picture with it. It was like big as her. She was just like, oh. I was just terrified of fish now, maybe because of that incident. She's not listening to him. Issues, traumatic issues with that. And she ended up bringing that home and another fish. And I made it for dinner. I was like so proud of them. I took them to a church group once a week. They were going to for kids, and they took them camping or fishing that day, which was a pain in the butt. So I had to get up early in the morning and take them to the space carpool. I kind of scary. Random buses, random people, and I ended up tasting the chemicals. And I was like, this doesn't. It's like now. Sometimes when I buy regular tomatoes, I mean, in the past 10 years, when I buy regular tomatoes, they're red, they're juicy, they have the consistency of tomato. It just tastes like nothing. It's like big mouthful, nothing. The coldness, but the sweetness of the tomato. Like, you know, you get a really fresh from somebody's garden, yellow or orange or red tomato, and it's like so it's like so flavorful, and it's like and sometimes you have this flavorful stuff, you could just eat a whole bowl of it, and sometimes you eat this other stuff, it's not flavorful, and it ends up going bad or mushy, and like you wanna just do tons of salad dressing. I was like, well, I know I need to eat the tomatoes, they can't go bad, they're very expensive. I got a bunch of salad dressing. It's fattening, it's got sugar in it. I feel like I need some fat, but I don't need the sugar or oils, hydrogenated oils, dairy. I don't do good with dairy, and I'm just like, what am I doing? And I'm like, the whole bowl doesn't even make it home. Me and whoever's around, not my kids, but other people's kids, we ate the whole box of tomatoes. And it's like, well, we didn't eat dinner. There you go. There's fresh. I mean, we'll almost be like making it, tomato juice sometimes. It's so flavorful and juicy. And you really taste it. Now I'm like covering up. Oh, this tastes bland. This tastes nasty. It tastes like something's wrong with it. Listen, if you gotta eat it, you already paid for it. You didn't taste it in the store. You taste nasty. Put dressing on it. Put salt on it. Put more salt on it. And I'm like, what the heck am I doing? Now I got bloated from salt retention. Now I'm eating sugar and energy and I need to be fat. It's like I'm trying to figure out how to be creative and buy things. Because it's like I can go to the plain store and get the plain tomatoes. I can go to the health food store and get organic tomatoes in the summer. I can go to the organic tomatoes anywhere. And if they charge you twice as much for the organic, you're like, fine, I won't buy it. I can't afford it. I can afford to pay $4 for that. I should buy the plain ones, and like, ew, they're bland, I have to put salad dressing in it. Okay, fine. And then they get money from me from salad dressing anyway, and then you end up like seeing the tomatoes on sale the next week, seeing the tomatoes have been there in the store, home, they're mushy and moldy, and you're like, oh. It's like, they should just sold them. If they sold them for half off 3 weeks ago, I would have just bought a couple packs, and like they would have made their money, instead of now they gotta pick through the stupid containers and pick out all the moldy ones, and or throw away packages because they got fruit flies. And it's just like, sometimes it's just so difficult. And then some of the health food stores, you're thinking, oh, look at these prices are pretty decent, comparable to the other store, and all this stuff's healthy. You park in the parking lot, everyone is got an air about them, like, look at me, I am healthier than everyone else, and oh my gosh, why are you shopping here? You can't afford the store. You know, like people have airs, and they're coming from yoga class, and they're picking up their kids for ballet, and you know, all this stuff, and they're looking at you like you don't belong. You must work here or something. Which, kind of wish I tried to work there. I want to get started, but stuff, and then you realize I just paid twice as much for a non-organic tomato. I could have just got it at the discount store. But it's like when you're picking out, you're like, oh, this is great. And then you're noticing, oh, these oranges are non-organic. They're covered in mold. And I'm like, I don't want to bring the mold into my house. And so you end up like getting other tomatoes or oranges, like the ones you like. Oh, these are so expensive. I don't mind some sour, but sometimes it's, you know, it's picked green and it's sour. It's just not. It's just like, and then it ends up rotting. And so, some of those navels you gotta be careful with. When you pick your favorite one, it's like, I can afford one. Okay. And if I could afford more, I would buy a whole bag and eat one a day. And even share some with my coworker. But it's like, well, the ones I actually like cost too much. And, you know, by the next week, it cost too much. Nobody paid for them. Minus $1 per pound. Now, those are the moldy ones. Like, why can't they just do that in the first place? I'm not a store owner, as you can tell. There's got to be some theory around overcharging people and then not making your money and then trying to... I mean, some people, they don't care. They're going to buy it. If I feel sick, I'm going to buy it. If I have money, I'm going to buy it. But some money. I noticed when I first started shopping at some of these stores that all they advertise fresh, local, sustainable. And they talk about, we use renewable energy and our toilets go out into the whatever, not in the sewer there, you know, or, you know, they're recycling rainwater to flush the toilets, do not drink the water, and you know, who knows where this water could be coming from the sewer, and it's like, well, that's nice, and then it's like, why is your produce from Australia and New Zealand? And why is all your meat and stuff from Australia and China and South America? And you're just like, this is really weird. And you want to be like, I can go to the everyone's a lot of ethnic groups, and it looks like some, you know, a higher percentage of immigrants. And you can't tell nowadays, so many generations have been here, it's hard to tell who migrated here, who immigrated here, and who was born here, but it's, I'm just saying, I see some people that are different ethnic groups that seem to be very good at starting businesses, getting good deals on houses, cars, working hard. Like, it's not just like, I got a good deal on something, I'm gonna, you know, I got a good deal on a food truck. You know, you gotta still work hard, and you still gotta market, and you still gotta think, you gotta do the math, and do this, and hire the right people, and fire the wrong people, and it's just people in the discount stores, and yeah, they'll be different things, they're not the shiniest, most expensive model, because they're not going to waste a whole bunch of money, but it's like you see them in there, and the people that are like, have airs about where they shop, and all their food's being imported in from 10,000 miles away, and it's like, I don't really know if it's 10,000 miles, or... And then in the distance, you look at the, so I want to make jerky in the dehydrator, it's like, this came from like 10 miles, oh, sorry, that scared me, this came from like 10 miles away, and you're like, this produce came from my state, like maybe my county or the next county over, and you know, these grapes, they did come from, Mexico, they maybe did come from California, but right west, it's like straight down I-5, and it's like, it didn't come from Europe. And also like every wrapper, and then you go into the health food store and see some of their canned fish, like all from this strange place near Fukushima, Japan. You're like, oh, they finally had us on sale, and you're like, right after Fukushima incident, you're like, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. And you're like, it's a scam. It's like, there's all this stuff that used to be like the price at your counter right now. So that's where I want to say about my dislike with this umbrella. And I want to say, imagine I'm making a website for my medical business. I'm going to say I want to include all groups, all ethnic groups, all ages, all genders, all sexual orientation. And I might specialize in one day, not today, in midwifery, but that's later on, and that's not going to exclude me to a certain group of people. That's going to make it. And I'm in a position right now where I'm like, what if I was making a website? Like, I wanted to say, and some of my little blog and little posting said, oh, I lost 60 pounds. Like, oh, but I gained back 25. Like, so I lost 30 pounds. I lost 3 pounds. Literally, and I'm like, it was like 20 pounds ago, and I was like, this sickens me. As you saw, I was eating the chocolate chips. My mind is like, if you eat them all now and don't buy any more, then you'll be better off than if you just keep it in the cupboard thinking about it. But I'd rather be thinking, it's like, people just had to throw their stuff away. But I'm upset with myself, so I have to just exercise. I just wanted to say that I have to leave soon. I just realized that I haven't had a day off in weeks, and sometimes I'm a very busy person. I'm studying and have tunnel vision just to my books and my notes, and right now it's like I'm trying to do marketing and stuff. I made 2 videos last night which I want to post. I was wearing the same sweater, but that has some of this business plan stuff, and I'll tell you the truth, I did a bad job. I was supposed to work with some people, and the group kind of fizzled out, and after someone kicked me out of the first group for being too enthusiastic about business and actually want to do what the teacher says, and then the second group fizzled out, and then I didn't join a third group. I didn't work on a business plan. It became like fighting just to get to class on time, to study, fighting to get to and do all that stuff. And that's where it was like, who cares about a business plan or a website or business cards when you're still trying to make sure you pass these classes? Like, without passing the classes, without passing clinic, without showing up on time to sign a sign-in sheet, there's not going to be a business like that. There's going to be a license. And I'll tell you what, I should write this down. I'll write it down for the accountability team that I talk about frequently. So there is a lawsuit against Hire One. They took all my money. I actually called them, and they said they sent out paperwork saying that we're going to take $2 a month from my account, because I was, sometimes for college and different things, there's an account that has like 20. It may or may not make an interest as a checking account. Boom. That account disappeared. I went to get the money. I was going to write a check and put it in my other account. It was gone. And I was basically, like, sometimes you're like, oh, I don't go to that school anymore. I'm just going to take the money. And it was also an account where relatives could sign up, or you could sign up to put money into that account and keep the account active, like, kind of like Western. You know, people used to send me stuff to be like, the money's wired into that account, which you can wire it into anyone's account, I think, but it was kind of nice thinking, oh, that's a buffer, or if I had to write a check for something and I run out of checks in other checking account. So there's a lawsuit. I have filled out lawsuit things for other companies, and I've got nothing back. And I'm like, it seems like a scam. Or they're going to be like, wait 2 years, and by the time 2 years is up, I probably moved somewhere else, and they're wait expires. And I also need to do my free annual credit report. I am suspecting that there's some fraudulent activity on my account, and that they're family member using Identity for something. And I'm gonna look at my other credit report, but I gotta leave in a couple hours. Actually, yeah, 2 hours is fine. So it'll give me time. And then the third thing I need to do is student loan. The last thing I know, took out my first student loan, and this is part of the whole experience, strength, and hope of being a medical. What I feel like right now is, they give me 2 business cards. I don't need this. Directions. I am the type of person, get rid of this stuff. So recycle, I'm putting recycle by my feet. Okay. I totally forgot what I was going to say now. Actually, some of this stuff has to be shredded. Oh yeah, in 2009, no. Borrowed my first set of money ever after having completed medical school or undergraduate school. I took my first loan out ever in order to retake graduate school, because they made me retake graduate school, or undergraduate school, sorry. And I ended up borrowing 40 grand for that. And right now I am needing to pay that money back. Now, there's one loan company that keeps emailing me and trying to set up loan payments and all this stuff, and I need to check what I was going to do. We had some other funding, and we also had a family member say they were going to fund us for some stuff. They refused to do it, and I am angry, as you heard me say many times. Sorry, I'm just cleaning this area out because I'm actually home to do something for a change. I am so stupid. I got scammed by a well-known business and financial guy about some products. My kids hated or were broken, didn't ever work. Person gets wealthy, and they just make money off ripping you off cheaply made products that don't work. I'm the type of person right now, I'm like trying to figure out, if you go to the government website, whatever it's called, the FAFSA website or whatever, and you see your loans, there was like 25 loans. And I was going to pay, before this budget issue and the fact that I'm paying for all my classes now, I was jealous of people whose husbands paid for the classes out of pocket. I was jealous of those people, or even ones that just borrowed tuition money, and then they still had to live in a mansion and all this stuff, had vacation houses and all this stuff. I'm the type of person right now that's like, I was like kind of jealous of those people. Then I'm like, now I know what it feels like. Maybe they wanted to borrow money, their income was too high, and they had to pay out of pocket. Even, sometimes you have income-based programs, and they don't take in account your budget. They say, well, your income is this, and we're going to not help you at all, and they don't take into account like your house or your mortgage or your car or debts you could be paying already $4,000 a month in other debts, like business startup costs. Like, they don't take that into account, or paying tuition for multiple kids in school, plus the spouse was in school. They don't always take that into account, which I am not sure these other people's personal things, but I just kind of be jealous that they had all the stuff. They went on vacation all the time, had nice cars, and I was like, oh, their dog died, and they went. I was like, dude, I've been trying to keep you for nobody would adopt me a puppy because I'm a single woman with 2 kids, teenagers that I do home and live school for Pete's sake. Someone could watch this dog, and it's like I got a whole bunch of other animals that had no problems with me. Why would a dog? The first time I had my first dog was 8th grade. And that was a sole responsibility for this dog. And the only reason, when I was an adult, first time moving to a house, she went sniffing around and ended up in the freeway, got hit by a car. And had we had known that this dog would be sniffing around over there, we would have definitely put up a fence. You know, I would have built the daggone thing myself, or put her on a leash. For the time being, I felt bad. Let her be a house dog and put her on a dog run or something. It was disappointing, and I know I don't want to tell people that she got hit by a car, but it's like the first night in a new home when you're moving, and I was living in a hotel and living in a Jeep in a tent. So it's like, at 10 years I raised it as a child, raised a kid until I was 21. For 10 years I was not really an adult, not really responsible for herself, but somehow the dog was very happy and healthy, and never had to go to the vet for any health issues at all. And just standard yearly tests and vaccines and all that stuff. And anyways, but I always would get jealous of people. I was like, I didn't offer pay some cash on the spot. I want the dog, and it's like, no, they try to back out. Plus, I'm black. They probably think that I don't know what I'm doing, or probably think I'm gonna buy the dog as much or something. Over the phone, they think happy, joy, but when they see me in person, I think they're afraid of my skin color. But yeah, I had a little bit of empathy when I woke up this morning to be like, oh, now I know what it feels like to pay for class out of pocket. Now I know what it feels like. You kind of block out the fact that you take out loans with high interest, and then the grace period ends, and you're like, so I was going to pay. When this family member said they were going to help us with expenses and help buy food and stuff, and then they changed their mind, I have paid some more interest on the loan prior to December 31st of 2014. I didn't know, am I going to have to buy 10 books of checkbooks and say there's 25 loans every month? I pay $5 to this one, $5 to this one, $5 to this one, $5 to this one, and it ends up being $1,000-something. I'm like, uh-oh. I don't have $1,000, but I'm just saying hypothetically. They didn't tell you. And then this one company that I keep going on the website, I asked for income-based loan repayment and all this stuff. They're like, you may have other loans with other companies, you need to contact them. And there was loans through one company that I could online transfer making all the time. I was doing it all the time. Interest on it. And then they sold my loan to someone else. I was so confused. And then after that, I took out loans through the school. You sign a piece of paper. Yeah, it goes through the school. Has the school letterhead on. Yes, I take out these loans, and then you get random emails. My personal email. Please confirm. And you're not supposed to do that. Please come to our website and type in your social security number and do this and make a password and do this and do this. I'm like, what? I was like, I don't know who these people are. It's like, try to call a number. Who are you? And then you will get a letter in the mail from some company you never heard of, from some out in the Midwest somewhere, and you're just like, it doesn't even say college financial aid or anything. It just has like letters and a P.O. box, and you're like, we sent you an email the other day. Please fill out this information. For computers that have my personal information on it, and they send a letter. Please, like random place. Please fill out your personal information, your social security number and social security card and all this stuff, and your address and your current phone number and your birthday and your full name. And it's just like, I don't understand. And then you call a number like, oh yeah, this is legitimate. And I actually looked online on the newspaper. I realized this place was robbed, but it's still scary because it's not like the company where I used to live where the computers got stolen. They don't contact you directly. They set up some other agency you never heard of before, and it's like people, when there's a hurricane or something, they set up these funds, donate to this cause, tax deductible, but whatever. They might not even say anything like, we're going to help out this hurricane, and those people just put the money in their pocket. Or they're like, some kid or someone gets hurt, someone's house burns, they set up a fund, and it's like the fund, nothing goes to that fund. And people can like So right now, I was just thinking of, there was a company, not a company, there was a lady who's trying to do surgery. She put on a Facebook, GoFundMe, or whatever everyone's using nowadays, and they got donated money, and to the personal account, and they were on, like, housing and food stamps, and healthcare maybe. I got a whole bunch of money, like, they needed, like, 20 grand or something. They got a whole bunch of money for the surgery. I don't know how much it was, but they ended up finding that, because the state has access to bank accounts, we end up seeing this activity, lost money for the housing, lost the food stamps, and then it's like kind of like prize winning earnings, I guess, is taxable. I don't know. Someone's like, because I was like, oh, I know a lot of people, and this was in the old church too. Oh, I know a lot of people that ask for donation all the time. People give them tons of money. Oh, this person's doing it. And I was like, they're a scammer, It's like, you see them, all they're eating in restaurants, eating steak and lobster, driving a new car. Like, they're not in poverty. They're just like, they're holding up a cardboard sign. And it's such those people, they want to give to them, that's their prerogative. But the lady, she's like, oh, if you get donations set aside, like, they can access your Facebook account. They can they can follow you around. And it's like, so I was like, if anyone ever wants to donate to me, it's gonna go into like, first of all, people don't donate to me. Second of all, I don't know. It's like, I guess that's the end of the story. But if I were to need a donation, or if people out of the low of their hearts wanted to donate to me, then I would set up a different account, and I would report it if it was for a business account, or to help me to build I wanted to buy land, build a house, and build a business, medical facility. I would put it separate. I would report it to the IRS. I would report it to any state agencies as an income, anything that they ask. So that's, I just want to throw that out there. I'm not gonna, when someone's trying to get money for their car repairs, I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, and there's other people like, oh, please give me money, please give me money. It's like, we're trying to figure out how to get ourselves to the food bank. Like, right now, it's like, we're trying to keep the lights on, and the kids started heat down at 49 degrees, and I'm freezing and shivering, and it's like, well, at least I don't have to, at least I don't have to pay as much money. But it's like, I'm not getting any work done. I'm not working on my business plan. I'm not, dealing with the things I need to deal with. So I thought that was kind of a stupid idea. I just wanted to say that I had to leave soon, and I could have gone to a doctor's appointment today, and I chose to sit around and just hang out and eat chocolate chips, apparently, and I actually did get some exercise in and stuff that actually made me sweat on Wii Fit, and I want to get on the exercise machine that's sitting right here. The kids are going to be hungry, and I'm just going to say, for accountability people, this one is about praying. I'm going to pray for guidance, make sure that I balance the check account so that there's no money in there, but I don't want to go on because I failed to document the checks. It's the first of the month, all the bills and the rent and every car payment, everything is due. I've got maintenance, appointments I need to make, car oil, teeth cleaning, all this stuff, and health care needs to be done, and I am not making appointments for it because all that costs money. Is like a luxury, and I need to make appointments when it's time to do teeth or car. Procrastinating, remaining a lot worse issues and a lot more money and a lot more pain, aggravation in the long run. And so I'm not really like dressed for video right now, and I had planned on making, I got the pen here, I had planned on making another YouTube channel, medically, may or may not do that. I still am in the transitional phase where I had told you guys a year or so ago, or when I made my site, that the information on my websites and my blogs and any video, it's not anything to cure, treat, or diagnose any disease. Like, go to your primary care physician or other health practitioner for anything like that. Try to do and hope that you, like, if I show you a picture of me after juicing and I have a juice, that's just me. That's not telling you to do that. And prior to having a medical license, I was making sure not to say much. And now with a medical license, I still am not your physician. If somebody hires me and I get a website where I can separate my patients, different videos of different things, it still doesn't replace your doctor visits. It doesn't replace your medication that you're already taking. It doesn't tell you not to take this or to eat this, or it doesn't even tell you to drink fluids. I'm thinking a transitional phase that, if maybe not, I could just categorize it, trying to just keep with that original plan when I was still doing like full-time student of being, oh yeah, that reminds me, I need to get a letter for grace period. And I'm going to add another one on here, income-based, not income-based. I'm going to write that down. This is a different thing, income-based repayment. I should do, oh my gosh, why do I forget those things? Okay, I need to do something else that has to do with my loan. I still don't know if I have to write 25 checks a month. That's going to be ridiculous. People consolidated and did direct loan and did this and did that. I don't know what they were talking about. The thing is, when I started the YouTube channel and made my blog and stuff, I was going to do some research and resources like, oh, I read this book. This 10 books I reviewed on, say, Alzheimer's, and these people said this about the supplements, and these, here's their website, here's their resources, here's a doctor in your neighborhood that may help you with this condition, and that I'm not substituting myself as your physician. So I still know, I had in the back of my head that I would do that as practice to get kind of a good background as far as organizing the notes and the video, and keeping. I'm really lengthy. It's already been like an hour. It's really lengthy. Just try to narrow it down to main points, get some visuals, get it out as a PowerPoint if possible, and then edit out all the extra junk, because me babbling on. And then I was going to transition when I get my license to still have that disclaimer that I just told you, that I'm not here to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease or anything, and just really transition into, hey, from what I've learned in my medical career, this is boom, 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 and boom. And even if I have a physician who's been licensed longer than me review my notes and kind of go over, making sure that I'm not, stating things to you that, even if I have a disclaimer on the bottom, that you guys are not taking it as advice. It's not medical advice. Resources. The biggest reason that I'm doing this worldwide is besides me not really wanting to talk to people, there's a lot of people I know in my town and my relatives that they cause me more aggravation than I find humanly possible. And some people, they want to see me fail at stuff, and they, it's just like, I don't want to deal with you. They want to use you for everything they can milk you for, and it's just like, they want to rip you off. So right now, I'm in a position where I want to share the world. It's like, oh, I can find strangers in faraway places, but it's going to faraway places where I grew up. I didn't know about this type of health things. I didn't know that the standard of medicine had to be the standard of care that was like, you do this or you die. It's like, no, you can do this. You can go to acupuncture, you can do a massage, you can do it's like, and you still go to your MD, you can still do, do this, you can still do surgery. It's like, there was only one track. And even if you are following that one track, there wasn't integrated medicine to go with it. There wasn't, supplement herbs that can help with nausea for certain reasons, such as getting treatments for chemotherapy, radiation, and different things, where there's, skin changes because of medication leaking, different things that help people with in the past. As a non-medical student, I could tell somebody and work out with somebody and do exercise plan and diet plan with them. Then as a medical student, it became like, don't tell anyone anything. If you're in a grocery store and someone comes and asks you about, oh, they have an alley on their foot, can I put this oil on it? You can't say it. If I were at the grocery store, the health store, and that's somebody else, I guess you're allowed. This is great, use this, take this supplement, da, da, da. I'm like, dude. I was like, do you know you're not supposed to take that supplement with certain prescription medicine? I'm thinking that in the back of my head. Or it's like, dude, do you know you're not supposed to use this? You have a certain allergy? It's like, just the fact that they're saying, this is great, I use it on myself and my kids. It's like, you want to buy it, you don't want to look at the label. And you're at the health food store, they're selling it to you, they make money from it. But it's like, I cringe because it's like, remember, note to self, when somebody comes in to me, I open up the chart and write down the allergies and meds and this and that. And document this so that I can look back at it later, and then as I'm starting out, just be like, I may have you purchase this, or I may not have you purchase it, or I may send you this in the mail, but let me do some background on it first until I get familiar. We've gone so many out since we've actually, I've done little bits and segments of it in my jobs and my training now, but not that whole holistic visit, and so it's like, I cringed a little bit, and I was just like, they at least need to say, before you begin taking this medication, first of all, are you pregnant? Are you lactating? Is this something going to aggravate if you have cancer, metastasis, or is this going to aggravate you if you have tuberculosis? It's like, they should say, hey, this is a product. I mean, anyone can go up and down the aisles and buy everything and then go home and consume everything, but it's like, if someone's saying this is great, you use it, they're not a doctor. They can at least say, take this in to your physician and ask them to evaluate whether this is your medicine or not, and to do your background, and your meds and allergies and all that stuff. That's just my opinion. But a store is different than a physician's office. A store, website, that's why I work on my disclaimers and everything. So, right now I still have one more thing that had to do with loan money, I think. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm still wanting to put out some informational things, because when I didn't know about natural medicine and homeopathy and stuff, I would have liked to know about it. I would have liked to have been given some education about certain things, and when I was educated about it, I already wanted to follow this path before I knew it was a path, and especially in this US of A, I found out about it and then directed my studies and my focus back to my goal, my dream, which was the same as the dream of becoming a naturopathic physician. It's just I didn't know it had a name. I wanted herbs and to be a doctor at the same time, and I wanted to be a medicine woman. That's what I wanted to do when I was in my late teens. All my college was probably late teens, and then age 20 and finished 21, except for some issues there, like last year because my mom died and I didn't know. Anyways, this is long enough. I will this list of things, and then I'll work on that. And for Accountability Club, I will let you know what I come up with as far as this stuff I dread, because it's like, people want your personal information, account number, what's this password, this is a verification, what's your PIN number, da 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 da. It's like, I can't even get into the account. It takes me an hour just to get into the account online. Get some tea, logs me out, and I start over. And it's like, I'm like a little bit hesitant about starting it, but I just wanted to say thank you to God for allowing me to do what couldn't be done, and God bless, and I forgive the people who wronged me. However, you don't have to forget. Sometimes not forgetting can help you to move forward. So, God bless.